Is it safe to file? Hi, I'm immigration attorney Jim Hacking, practicing law throughout the United States out of our offices in St. Louis, San Diego, Washington, D.C., and Chicago. When I say, is it safe to file, what I'm talking about is whether or not it's a good decision for you to file for your next immigration benefit. Is it safe? Is it too late? And what do I mean by too late? Well, obviously, we're living in a new era now at immigration when it comes to the United States. Donald Trump, Stephen Miller, and ICE are off the chain. They're going after immigrants in ways we've never seen before, or at least not in many, many decades. And what that means for you is that you have to seriously consider, is this the right time for me to apply for a benefit? Now, the first thing I want you to understand is that every single day at USCIS offices across the land, service centers, field offices, wherever, USCIS is approving lots and lots of applications. So for many people, the general rule still applies, which is file as soon as you can. Most people should file right at the time that they become eligible for a benefit. We always want you to take advantage of the next immigration benefit if you can. You're always moving up that ladder from non-immigrant visa to green card holder to citizen, and that's a good thing. So for most people, what I'm about to say probably doesn't apply. So know that green cards are getting approved, asylum cases are getting approved, citizenship cases are getting approved, overseas visa petitions for spouses and parents are getting approved. So business is still going on. Things are still happening. Cases are still being approved. Now, what that also means, though, is that if you're someone who has a complicated immigration history, that you need to think long and hard about whether or not it's safe to apply. And what do I mean by that? Well, in February of 2025, USCIS adopted a policy that they talked about in Project 2025. This was always part of their plan, that if you apply for an immigration benefit and you have no other status, that you could get your status denied and you could get a notice to appear in immigration court. In other words, gone are the days where they just send you a denial notice and don't really follow up on whether or not you really had status. I know that this is sort of a head scratcher for a lot of people. A lot of people thought, well, shouldn't it have always been like that? Maybe, maybe not. But at the end of the day, what we're seeing now is that when you get a denial, shortly thereafter, or even included with the denial, you're getting a notice to appear for deportation. So the stakes are a lot higher. You know, my dad was a big poker player. I watched him and had fun watching him. I was never a big poker player, but to me, we're at that stage now where people are saying all in. All in, because when you apply for that benefit, you're going all in. You're either going to get it approved, or if you don't have some backup plan, then you're probably going to be in trouble. So for instance, a typical case that I'm talking about would be like if somebody had a student visa and they married a U.S. citizen and then they terminated their CVS record, they stopped going to school, and they wrote the green card petition. What do I mean by that? That means that that's the only thing they have protecting them or keeping them here. That's a riskier move than it was before. So I want you to keep filing with all confidence, but I think you're at the stage now where if you have any kind of a hiccup, anything in your background, maybe problems with a prior visa, problems with lying to immigration, problems with documents that you gave them that weren't accurate, or information or testimony or things you've said to USCIS in the past that could be deemed problematic under the new administration, those are the people that need to think long and hard about applying. So definitely can still get a benefit, definitely still okay to file, but you probably need a higher level of analysis. I think we're seeing more people come to attorneys and talk to attorneys because they're worried about what are the things that they're missing. Because as Donald Rumsfeld said, sometimes you don't know what you don't know. And that's really where people are getting in trouble. They're just going ahead and applying as if things were the way they'd always been, and then they're finding themselves with a notice to appear in deportation court. And of course, we don't want that for you. We want you to get your immigration benefit. We want to help as many immigrants as possible. If you want our help trying to get an immigration benefit, your next benefit, give us a call at 314-961-8200. Email us info@hackingimmigrationlaw.com. If you're just looking for free resources, we're happy to help you there too. We have more on the internet, I think, than anybody. We have an immigrant home Facebook group with about 16,000 people in it. You can join that group and talk to other people going through the immigration process or asking questions about processing times at service centers or embassies overseas. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're going to post a new video every three a week. And we're also going to do our Immigration Answers live show. So that's a show that I do 2 or 3 or 4 times a week. It's just me answering questions for an hour. And I love doing it. And I'll be happy to do that for you. Join us there. You can text the word show to 314-470-3300. And you can ask me whatever immigration question you want. Finally, if you're not following us on TikTok, we have a lot of fun over there at Immigration Hacking. Thanks so much for watching this video. We'll see you next time.